I have a serious question for you, Mike.
Yes.
Does the chin, or is my, is the mic hiding my chin zit?
Your chin's it? Oh, I can see it from
I've been
here.
eating a lot of candy lately.
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep up with you on Dry June.
Yeah.
But what's filling the sort of like the space that has been left by no weed and no alcohol is a lot of candy.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got a teenage level thing happening on my chin, so I'm hoping that I've strategically placed the microphone so that you can't really see it.
Yeah. From my angle,
Mhm.
yes. From the YouTube channel angle,
Glaring?
glare.
Yeah?
Even worse.
Everyone's
No.
got a good look at it? Great.
It is a teen zit.
Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling teeny boppery with it.
Totally.
For
Well,
sure.
look, I'm gonna be honest. Dry June is going great. My skin, my hair, my nails, everything feels strong. But when I saw Jurassic World, I did get there early enough to also get a Sprinkles cupcake red velvet, a Sprinkles cookie red velvet, a large popcorn, and a large water.
Right.
And now we've got all these snacks from Snack Plug that Snack Plug just sent. And
Yep.
I'm about to go in on some like international snacks.
I'm feeling pretty shameless about my enjoyment of all of the chocolate and candy and snacks that I've been enjoying just because of the, like, number one, yeah, like replacing weed and alcohol with something else. I have just allowed myself to enjoy an ice cream sandwich at night. No problem. Also, I feel like I'm exercising a lot right now. So that is also, I've given myself the permission, but I did step on the scale the other day. Turns out it's not working.
The
So
scale's broken?
No, the scale's working great. My plan of eating whatever the fuck I want as far as candy goes isn't working.
Oh.
And I'm back on Weight Watchers.
Hey,
Yeah.
awesome.
Team Blue.
Team Blue.
Team Blue. I'm really excited because you and I have so much going on this summer to like just be fit for, like in fighting shape for. And I'm not talking about like a size or a fucking beach body or any of those ideals that I think have just never worked for me. I just want to be like just feeling good so that I can do all of the things that you and I have laid out for ourselves.
100%.
Yeah.
I have something to share, but first, what up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Nice.
Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone. This is a podcast about comedy,
cannabis,
culture,
cooking,
calling shit out,
and candy.
and candy.
And a fantastic guest.
Yeah, I learned a lot today.
Yes.
I really did. I like learning from someone
Yep.
rather than sitting and staring at a screen. And Ashlee dropped some really, really great knowledge.
Yep.
And is a great hang.
Ashlee's cool as fuck. And we'll get to our interview with Ashlee in a minute. Sorry.
So what I wanted to say is, because I'm not on Weight Watchers right now, but I am on Dry June, and you are on Weight, like, t-shirt confidence. It wasn't a number for me. It was walking down the street in a t-shirt and not feeling like it was like I was a tight balloon wearing a tight skin over this balloon body. You know what I'm saying? T-shirt confidence is when I knew I was in a range that felt great.
Yeah. I think I just had a really interesting conversation with my friend Lucy when I was away. I was up in Washington. I was visiting Lucy, and she's just an amazing person, amazing, witchy, sagey, kind of fucking cool person to hang out with. And she was talking about a movement that's called body trust, which is where you take away everything around eating disorders by basically just truly allowing yourself to consume any food without designating it as good or bad. And that's the first way to break some of the fucked up thinking that gets into your head with, societal demands, especially on women, to have a certain body size, type, shape, whatever. And so she was telling me about that as sort of, something to look into, to maybe, because I really do feel like I need to recondition my brain a little bit. I've always had this sort of idea that, and we talked about this with Lindsay Adams as well, about being thinner, being better. And it's not that I'm actually looking to be thinner. I'm looking for a feeling that is just literally being comfortable in whatever size this skin is. And I think that's just so different than trying to get to a certain, like, imagining that I will be comfortable when I get to a certain size.
Right.
It's
because
really
you're chasing it, right?
It's like rewiring your fucking brain. It's like taking the circuit board and trying to like replug shit.
Fucking wow. Well, that being said, I'm going to join you in the zits and grab something from Snack Plug. Thank you to Snack Plug for sending us a bunch of international snacks. Where do I want to start?
I don't know.
kind of want to start with these chips.
Ooh. Also, I just feel like I made no sense because I was talking about, changing my eating habits, and now I'm about to dive into all of this candy.
No,
again.
but I think it's
you have to allow yourself things.
And also it's a fucking flow, man.
Yeah.
Like life is a flow, and sometimes the river is rocky and sometimes it's a beautiful stream. But no matter what it is, you can't have all, like, all the way down the stream are different rocks. And if it's the same rock every fucking time, you're no longer in a flow. You're in a goddamn puddle. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You gotta flow. And so the fact that we're substituting maybe sugar right now for other things, and then maybe we'll go back and when we're in Europe, we'll be, partying our balls off a little bit. Fine. But
Yeah.
you got to shake it up with different rocks.
I like this. If you're banging into the same rock, you're in a puddle. But if it's a different rock, you're moving in the flow.
You're moving in the flow.
I like this. My dad would have appreciated this as a stream specialist.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, the first thing I grabbed was beer flavored chips.
Okay.
So
all right.
Here goes
That's
Dry
crazy.
June.
Where are these from?
I'm not sure what language that is.
I don't know where they're from. Maybe Korea? I'm not sure. Shall I open them?
You think it's Korea?
I think it's Korea.
Okay.
Producer Mark says Korea.
We're popping these babies open.
Yeah. So this is the asterisk to Dry June is
Okay.
a beer flavored chip.
A little ASMR of this beer flavored chip on here. I
Give it a-
woke Archie the dog up. He's a special guest in the studio
Ooh,
today.
it smells sudsy. It smells malty.
Oh, no.
You don't like it?
Oh, my God.
All right, moving on. Hold on. Let me get a step.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That tastes like I just picked up a warm beer that was like a fucking happy hour purchase that has gone flat and someone left at the back of the bar. And they also left backwash in it.
Yeah, the aftertaste on this is
Oh.
so unpleasant. I'm not sure. Mark, do you want to try one? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, while you come up here, would you also hand me the watermelon candy up front just to like cleanse the palate on this?
Actually, weirdly tastes like
Here you go, buddy.
pear flavored soap.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
pear flavored soap. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, not
Hold
pear.
on, let's see Mark's face.
Terrible.
Hates it.
Hates it.
If I was a
Oh my God.
if I could draw caricatures, picture a frown.
I don't hate it. But it is flat beer.
It's
Right?
flat beer.
It's flat beer left at the back of a bar that some guy spit in.
Well, these are sour coated marshmallows.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna crack these as we keep going. Thank
Okay,
you,
ding,
Snack
ding, ding.
Blog.
Can I bring up something on the tip of the rewiring your brain and circuit boards and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think last week or a couple weeks ago, you and I were talking about man and machine and the relationship between, us and AI and how shit's getting weird. And, some people believe that we're approaching the, what is it called? The singularity. Thank you, Mark. The singularity. So there was a story this week on the Huffington Post, the mainstream media
Where you get all your news.
is reporting. I do get all my news there.
Yeah,
I
it's
learned
a
about
good place.
TikTok on the Huffington Post. So this is actually not our news story, but it is a news story that a Google engineer was basically put on leave because he warned that Google AI had become sentient and was asking for personhood.
Wait, really?
Yes. And this
Really?
Google engineer was he was alarmed and he flagged it to his superiors and he was like, "Hi, this it's called Lambda, I think." And I can pull up the story, but anyway, this artificial intelligence was having a conversation and was designating itself as a person and saying, like I have feelings, I have emotions, I have thoughts. And this engineer was like, "Hi, I'm alarmed about this."
Yeah.
And then he was put on leave, and then Google's
Put on leave meaning
like he was suspended from Google.
for doing his job by saying like we can't give robots control. We've seen Terminator before. Like
Here's
this is a problem.
The opening paragraph from the story in the New York Times. Google placed an engineer on paid leave recently after dismissing his claim that its artificial intelligence is sentient, surfacing yet another fracas about the company's most advanced technology. Anyway, his name is Blake Lemoine. He was a senior software engineer in Google's responsible AI organization. He said he was put on leave on Monday. Google's HR said he had violated the confidentiality policy.
That's why they put him on leave.
This is why they
didn't put him on
leave.
leave because he didn't want machines to destroy us. They put him on leave because he didn't keep it internal.
Sure.
Right.
We'll believe that.
Uh-huh.
That's what Google's telling us.
Right.
Um,
You fucking sneaky bitches.
A Google spokesman said in a statement that some in the broader AI community are considering the long-term possibility of sentient AI, but it doesn't make sense to do so by anthropomorphizing today's conversational models, which are not sentient. No, dude, I think we're getting a warning from an engineer who works with this that they are sentient and we should be concerned.
100%. Because if he didn't do that, and then it became like, it's one thing for a robot to be like, I learned the word emotions. It's the other thing for it to be like, I have emotions. And it's a whole other thing for you to be quiet about that shit.
And then to say, I'm a person and I deserve rights.
Yeah.
It's wild. So
Skynet. Exactly. Dude.
yeah. So the AI is called the Language Model for Dialogue Applications, or Lambda. And for months, this Google engineer, Lemoyne, had tussled with Google managers over his claim that Lambda had consciousness and a soul.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, why do we need this? Why are we working on this to begin with is my big question.
Well, because all of the things that we invent are supposed to better our lives, right? Including,
I
any
don't think
advancement.
convenience is betterment. I think that we are in an era where convenience is being sold to us as betterment, whether that's something being delivered to our door from a restaurant or a self-driving car or every streaming service, whatever it is, convenience does not make things better.
Right.
Having something be hard or having something be active is good. That's what humans fucking need. So the idea that a sentient robot is betterment for us is fucking bullshit. It's just more convenient, and I'm not buying it.
I don't disagree with you. I would love to. I mean, I wish we had the time. I know we could actually do a whole loose moose about it. I just read a fascinating Twitter thread about the idea that everything we are experiencing right now as a human civilization is as cult members, and there are cult leaders, and the cult leaders are the elite, the capitalists, the 1%, who are truly just destroying everything around us as we are taking advantage, or like mining our planet and doing all of the things that they need in order to prosper, while we will suffer from it.
Yeah.
And part of that, I think, is building the AI that will ultimately serve them when they depart this planet, or live whatever life is left over for them.
Yeah.
And they'll have that AI to possibly serve them and wait on them when the rest of human civilization has crumbled. I mean, that's like a super dark way to look at it, but that could be one pitch.
Would you like a watermelon marshmallow to ease the...
Yeah, I'm worried. I would love oh wait, do I want this? This looks crazy.
They're very good. I love this one. Thank you, Snack Plug.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have so much more to add about that too, but
Uh-huh.
I know that we do need to get to the news and a couple of other things here. Let me look at the time. Yeah, we got to cook. Last thing I'll say on that is, what you make me think of is, I just had an incident with Uber recently where I got canceled on twice while I was waiting for a car to the airport, and they charged me $5 each time. And so I wrote to them, but I didn't get a fucking person ever. It was always a robot, which took the responsibility of Uber away from the money that I wanted back. There was no person to talk to. There was nothing to talk to. And because I had to go through robots and bullshit to get it done, there was no emotion, there was no caring, there was no customer service, there was no contact for me to actually say anything. And I think that is the exact feeling I get when I think about the elites being on Mars and us being here on Earth, and that machine being between us, where it's like, how can you fight with people who are a planet away and say and speak your piece? And the only way to get there is through machines and things that they created that were convenient and for us and for our betterment.
Yeah.
It removes machines remove all responsibility from man.
Well, this is an interesting conversation given our guest and how we get into Web3 and, the future and crypto and stuff, because I think, the technocracy is the quickest way to separate the poor or the have-nots from the haves, right? Like the fact that cashless payments are becoming, de facto around a lot of businesses that I go into in Los Angeles. They don't even accept cash anymore, and supposedly it's safer because of COVID protocols and that sort of stuff, or more convenient.
Well, then stay out of my Venmo, government.
It also disadvantages someone who doesn't have access to that bank account or that smartphone to have that Venmo app, and it's just a really quick way to automatically make sure that people who don't have a lot of money all of a sudden can't come into your establishment or shop at your store, whatever it is. So I just think that, we talk about being, in touch with the earth and the plant all the time. We should also stay in touch with our currency as a physical thing in a lot of ways, I believe. And, maybe controversial aspect.
Go outside and carry some coins.
Talk about crypto in this app, but it's just an interesting debate to kind of keep an eye on.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing about our guest today, Ashlee, and talking about crypto, is that what she's doing is she's creating a community and holding on to the power and putting power into a community that she's building. She's not doing something from the top down where it's like, I'm the leader and then all of you do what I say. She's like, I want people around me who believe and have the same ideas as me, and we can make something together that is great. I'm excited
and that
about.
is for the people. She is creating PuffDAO, which is the decentralized autonomous organization, community owned, for the community, hopefully to help everyone in that community rise together in a communal, very communistic, in a very good way way. Did
Way.
that make sense? Holy shit. Should we get to the news?
Let's get to the news. And then I got to open this because it's
Oh.
been looking at
Do you
me.
want to open that first?
Can we open it?
Yeah, let's
I'm
open that
super
first.
stoked.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
an unboxing.
Yeah, Dr. Ganja sent us a box, and I was like, I'll open it on the air because these are cool people. Well, it's more of a marketplace, I would say.
Yeah, so Dr. Ganja has great products that are in stock with free shipping
Should I light
options.
it on fire? How do I open
Do you
something
have a
like
knife?
this? Do I have a
Or
knife?
Do you have a sharp anything?
I
How
have
about a fingernail? A tooth?
I haven't been biting my nails. Maybe I can use my nail. Hit me, Mark.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was nicely done. That actually looked like a weird stunt. You caught it so perfect. It was thrown and caught so perfectly. So
Yeah.
I was just going to say that Dr. Ganja has free shipping options in the U.S. and affordable international shipping options as well. And for this unboxing, they created a special code for us.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is-
Weed and Grub.
Yeah, 10% off.
Oh, look what they gave us. Look at these.
Oh my God, peanuts?
They gave us a bunch of these.
It's the kind of peanuts I'm not allergic to.
Yeah, so you could eat these.
That's so kind.
Sorry, snack plug. We got a new snack.
Okay,
So
are you
can
going to
eat
do them one
those.
at a time?
Yeah, I was going to hand them to you
Okay,
one at
this
a
is
time.
going to take a while.
The worst unboxing you've ever seen. We just keep handing peanuts
Oh,
back
thank
and
you.
forth.
Okay, 7.
Oh, wait, here's something. What is
8.
this?
Ooh.
CBD isolate. 99% pure CBD isolate.
Isolate.
Yeah.
I say isolate. Do you say isolate?
I say it how it's spelled, but it doesn't mean I'm right.
Well, it's one of those things like minute or minute,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or wind or wind. It's spelled the same way but pronounced differently.
How do you say it again? Isolate?
I think when it's in this form, it's isolate because it's isolated. It's an isolated compound as a chemical thing rather than isolate. It's isolate because it's the noun instead of the verb.
I love that. I love that. Dr.
Nerd
Ganja's going to
moments.
love this
Dr.
unboxing.
Ganja is going to love
Hey.
the grammar lesson in the middle of the unboxing about whether it's isolate or isolate. But listen, this is what you get when you come to Weed and Grub. It's actually with Mary Jane and Mike going like, Jesus Christ.
I just sink in my chair and quickly Google
Why?
the word verb, and I'm like, yeah, it must be, man. It must be a verb.
Listen, this is fucking dope.
What
It's
is-
99% pure CBD, isolate or isolate. It's hemp derived, which, as we know, means that under the current situation, they can ship to all 50 states.
Yeah, they can. And check this one out. Blueberry diesel.
Whoa.
And this is distillate.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. That they.
Delta 8 THC Dr. Ganja
Distillate.
distillate.
Mhm.
And how do you
I
pronounce
have
it?
nothing to say about
How do you
this.
pronounce it, Mary Jane?
I
How
go
do
with
you
what you're
pronounce it?
saying.
It's
'Cause-
distillate.
Mhm.
You're shaking awful fast.
Yep. I'm not going to correct you, but I am going to crack this jar open and give it a sniff because it looks amazing. Holy shit, that smells incredible. Okay, great.
Oh, also hit him up at 877 Dr. Ganja. I don't think.
What?
Did I tell you when I got my medical card that
Yeah.
the guy pulled his stethoscope out of cargo shorts? Did I ever
course.
tell you about that?
I
I think about that every time I think of like doctors and like medical and all of that. I'll never forget when he just pulled his stethoscope out of his cargo shorts. He was wearing a lab coat and cargo shorts.
was that here in Los Angeles?
It was
Mhm.
like near Koreatown, and I was very nervous. And then I got in there, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah,
And
dude!"
you got your medical card.
I did, and
And
I
that-
actually did need it because of my hip was. I really do like. You want to talk about pain? Yeah, when they popped my hip out of the socket and shaved the bone and then put it back in.
Oh,
You've seen the scar, right?
Want to vomit.
Yeah. So, thank you for having your stethoscope at the ready in your cargo. Hemp rolls, love them from ELLZ. Oh, that's the marketplace part.
Yeah, so Dr. Ganja that has stuff like the isolate and the distillate available.
This
Mike,
is awesome.
Did you hear
we
me?
got
Did
one
you hear
more.
what I said?
What'd
I
you
said
say?
isolate and distillate.
Isolate.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
distillate.
And those are both from the Dr. Ganja line. And then they've got, L's hemp pre-rolls and then flour as well.
Oh shit, CBD hemp flour.
Nice.
Can I smoke this during dry June? Is this legal for me? Or
It's
do I have to
up
wait until
you.
July?
You can, I think you can smoke that, especially as, something, because I know you enjoy just the act of like smoking a joint.
Yes.
This would go in, this would be fine for a dry June for you.
For a dry June? Okay, so the loophole is a little bit
You
of
would get the
cosmic
benefit
kush.
of the CBD.
Yeah.
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 Might make you feel a little more chill, but it's not going to get you stoned. Thank
I'm
you.
very chill.
Yeah, you're so chill. The most chill. This is Cosmic Kush
Yeah.
indoor. Holy smokes, it's tested at 18.44 CBD and 20.2 CBDA. No Delta 9. So no Delta 9 THC, but awesome.
It's
Dr.
great stuff.
Ganja. Yep.
Check them out. Go to Dr. Ganja, use code Weed and Grub.
For 10% off.
For 10% off.
They
And
can ship to all 50 states.
there you go. So if it maybe is illegal in your state, we're working on it. We're going to get that Fed legalization. We are going to get people out of prison. But if you're in a place and it might be a little bit illegal and hard to get, Dr. Ganja, go
Yep.
for it.
That's awesome. And these buds are beautiful. They're big and fat and really nicely trimmed.
And they guarantee
That's like what I like about my men.
peanuts in every package.
What?
Peanut? What'd you say about dicks?
Big and fat and nicely trimmed. I just tried to slide in a little spice there. Come on.
Big and fat and nice and trimmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Dr. Ganja.
Let's get to the news.
Oh, man. Okay. Our news this week is coming to you from Twitter, the Grub Gazette.
The thing is I can picture what that dick looks like too.
Big and fat and nicely
and
trimmed.
nice and trimmed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looks just like these buds. The Grub Gazette this week is coming to you from Twitter. Carson Humiston, I'm imagining it's pronounced, at K Humiston, who is the founder and CEO of Vangst, which is a cannabis jobs agency, tweeted an email that a sales rep for Vangst had received in response to so a sales rep for Vangst sent an email to someone who runs a company,
A weed company.
called Spen Agri. Yeah, a weed company. And they got this email back. And
I'm still confused. Somebody sent an email to a weed company.
So a sales rep from Vangst sent an email to a weed company. And the person from the weed company sent this email back. And then the CEO of Vangst tweeted it.
Got it.
The email says, I don't communicate with ignorant cunts that cannot figure out what a woman is. You're a she/he/hers ? Please die so God can rectify his mistake. Signed, Philip Spencer, CEO of Spen Agri Farms, doing business as Grand Wellness Dispensary in Oklahoma City. And Carson Humiston, who's the CEO of Vangst, tweeted this, screenshotted it and tweeted it, and just said, as we collectively work to build a more equitable cannabis industry, we should have zero tolerance for CEOs like Philip Spencer who propagate hate speech and misogyny. Philip sent the below message to our sales rep this morning in response simply to the pronouns in her signature.
So it wasn't even an email about, could you please address me as? It was like,
no,
these
it's
are
like,
my pronouns.
hey, do you want to buy a sale, like a package to advertise your business with Vangst? And Philip got back and said, die. And
fuck that person, fuck that business, go bankrupt and
I guess the
burn
only
it all
reason
down.
that I really wanted to make it a news story was just really to call attention to the ongoing rampant bigotry, prejudice, misogyny, hatred in the legal cannabis industry. And as we are like at the beginning of building this industry, this is what we need to immediately squash and squelch out and call out. Because, if there's one thing that we have right now is the promise of building something that's fucking better for all of us. And this, I'm so glad that Carson Humiston called it out and that people are really paying attention to it. But it's like, fuck no.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. We're not doing this. Philip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the news story this week is call things out.
Yeah, I mean, the news story
that are
is
like racist, bigotry, hate.
For all of its inclusiveness and sort of, yay and happy vibes and stuff, there is a lot of fucking hatred inside the weed industry. And from people like this, he's obviously trying to profit off of cannabis and he's carrying that fucking message in his heart. Like, fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
All the way out.
100%.
No room for that.
Also, I like even just the idea of like typing that makes my heart hurt, and
Literally.
then hitting like every step of his process makes me so sad and upset.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess I should have even almost issued a trigger warning before reading that tweet because it is that fucking hateful. Like it's, yeah. So
yeah.
sorry for anyone who was upset by hearing it, but that's what we currently have going on from someone who is the CEO of a cannabis company. Just infuriated that someone would dare to identify themselves with pronouns.
Yeah. Say the cannabis company one more time because I don't think anyone who listens to this would fuck with them.
It's Spen Agri Farms, SPEN Agri Farms, doing business as the Grand Wellness Dispensary in Oklahoma.
Grand Wizard
City.
Dispensary? What is it called?
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Right, Philip, we see you. And go fuck yourself.
Fuck yeah. Nice. Oh, I need a snack on that.
All right.
Yeah, we need to get to Buds of the Week.
Oh my God, we do.
Dude, we're cooking.
All right. You want to go first or second?
I'd kind of like to go first because of how I just filled my mouth with watermelon
Great.
marshmallow.
Great.
Because my butt of the week this week is Damon Monday at Damon Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Really good friend. We met through Zach Miller doing his shows, and Damon is always there. He's such a great dude. And when I just did the Lit show with Josh, and Zach was there and Damon was there, and he was like, "You're doing Dry June." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I will do no sodas and no juice on the weekends with you."
Wait, didn't you say this earlier?
Off pod.
Oh, okay.
When I told you who I was going to do for Butt of the Week.
I was like, I've heard this today.
Yeah, you sure
Right.
did.
Wow, sorry about that. I just thought you might be repeating yourself.
So distillate is
Isolate. Listen, we're all over the map.
And so he's not doing juice or soda on the weekends, and I'm doing Dry June, and so we're riding and dying together, riding and living together. And we were DMing today, and he was like, "How are you holding up?" And I was like, "Honestly, my skin feels good, everything feels good, I'm feeling strong." And I was like, "How about you?" And he was like showing me that he's making tea for the weekends, and he's like, "I'm sleeping better, I'm not crashing, I'm like exercising, everything's good." So it's just like you got to knock out whatever is no longer moderation and becomes like a part of the thing and reset the system a bit. So shout out to Damon. Thank you for doing this June with me. And that's my butt of the week.
Hell yeah. Fuck yes. Damon's awesome. I always like just get such a good vibe when I see Damon at one of the shows.
Yeah, he's the
any
shit.
of the shows. My butt of the week is at j.bailey.b on Instagram. It's our friend Bailey Burcham, who is a producer, writer, director, currently killing it at the Pasadena Playhouse as operations manager. But I'm shouting out Bailey because I went to the Los Angeles Fringe Festival and saw Bailey's show 3 Guys 1 Groupon, which we saw in development a while back when it was just a series of shorts at a theater festival. I think like 3 years ago now. You and I were going and checking them out every once in a while with our friend Charlotte, and they were
He won that festival.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he won that festival with those short pieces, and he stitched them together into one act, and it's beautiful. His writing is really gorgeous. It's sort of exquisite because it's very simple and spare, and then he'll allow one character to just sort of like unburden their heart after like 5 minutes of just talking about the weather, and there's something in it that's just very real, and I really appreciate Bailey's writing. So I hope we see a lot more from Bailey as a writer and director, in addition to just like crushing it in the theater world in LA.
he's talented.
Yeah,
super talented.
shout out Bailey.
Good butt of the week.
Yep, at j.bailey.burcham. Also, Bailey has let me see if his TikTok is up on his profile. Because
Theater of Absurd.
It's the Theater of the Absurd. That's right, because he's gone viral on TikTok with creepy ghost videos from behind the scenes at the Pasadena Playhouse, and they're like very scary.
They are
and
fucking
cool.
scary, and I believe them, and I think that the Pasadena Playhouse is haunted.
Yep. So check those out as well.
Woo!
Woo! So
You want to get to Belzo?
we got to get to our guest.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ashlee Belzo, cool as fuck, going hard in life and weed and building a community and a perfect world for like everyone that she loves, it sounds like.
When you don't see something that you wish was there, you can't wish it. You got to make what you want to be there.
Yeah.
And she's doing that.
Yep.
Simple.
And throwing, arguably the best parties in the, I don't know why I keep stuttering. Arguably the best parties in LA.
Because that zit is weighing down your chin.
It's those beer chips threw me off my game. I corrected you about grammar in the middle of an unboxing, and then I just felt weird for 15 minutes.
Fun.
This is our vibe. This is what we do.
I love it so much.
Yeah. Should we get to our guest?
Let's get to our guest. Without further ado, here is our interview with
Ashlee Belzo.
Ashlee.
Hi.
There we go.
Hi,
Right?
how we doing?
It's okay. Like, you were texting me a lot, like, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? And I was like, we're just going to hang. And you were like, okay, thank God.
I cannot believe that this is your first podcast.
Yeah, I'm a first timer. It's exciting. I felt like if I was going to be a part of a podcast, my first one, I mean, if it's called Weed and Grub, it just literally is what I do. Weed and Grub. So, I'm excited. I'm so happy that you guys are having me on, and I met you guys different times separately a while ago, and
Wait, but they were both at your events, I think, right?
what?
Like, I feel like we were on
We
some
actually met
list.
first at a really weird event, like downtown, didn't we?
What? Which? Or was it not the green? Was it not the green?
I'm
the
not-
Green Street building.
I don't know. It's all a haze. It's all a fog.
No, I was, but
How the hell did I know you? Because I remembered you right away. I was
just
like, I
felt
like your
it was
vibe, but
just
like, what's the deal?
I just felt like it was a comedy and me following you. It's like internet stuff. That's how I am. I'm very internet savvy, and like I don't know, especially like being a millennial and like growing up in this day and age, I think I'm really good at kind of connecting with people online. And maybe we met for, you know, in person, but we're like talking online before. Like that's very much so my vibe.
Does it make you uncomfortable to talk to people in person now? Because as somebody who's throwing these big bad events, I see you give everyone time, but then I'm like, ooh, she's gonna leave in a minute because she wants a little bit of alone time at her thing.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm good at talking in person. I just think for me, especially when you're at events or you're hosting an event or whatever, it's like, you know, everyone wants a little piece of you, and I'm like talk to you for 2 minutes, and then I run to the next group.
Because I'm sorry, but we just watched all of season 19 of Top Chef. Do you know Top Chef?
Yes, of course, absolutely.
Of course. Okay.
Have you heard of the show?
Yeah, have I heard of Top Chef? No, yeah, absolutely. But what happened?
Okay, so spoiler alert, skip ahead probably 15 minutes while I talk about Top Chef if you're listening to this. There is a restaurant war in season 19, and the person who plays front of house for Restaurant War won't even talk to the judges. He's such a nervous wreck. And there's a great edit where he's talking to this table, and then he like comes into frame with this big goofy grin, and the judges are all like, what about us?
Yeah.
And I feel like you're a great front of house host.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, somewhat. It's new. I think I like bop around, and I'm like, it's like an introvert extrovert, you know, like some people like they get filled up when they hang out with people, and I do that. Like I definitely like run on other people's energy in it. But like when there's too much, it just drains me. And that's why it's like the next day after an event, and maybe it's the same for you when you're doing shows or whatever the case is. But like I definitely need that alone time after to decompress, you know?
I think we have to give our listeners a little bit of context, because when you're talking about the events that you run, it's at a sick house in the Hollywood Hills with
Absolutely.
a giant pool. Every recap I see is like drone footage that's pulling up, and there's like Kalina Sanders fucking
Yes,
like rocking it
Kalina.
poolside, and just like the coolest people. And the party that we came to, I think it was the PuffDAO launch, you were explaining things to me that I didn't even know existed.
The
As,
NFT
like,
Web3 thing.
you're like at the vanguard of weed. So like for people listening, you are, I feel like, representing the next gen of weed culture and events to some. I mean, I hope you don't disagree.
No,
with that.
I absolutely love that. I will totally take that as a compliment. I think so too. I mean, you know, every cannabis event I've been to, I mean, I've enjoyed them. I love seeing the community. I think that's what's really fun and exciting, you know, especially in being in the comedy scene. You always see like your friend comedians, whatever the case is. And I think for us, we love going to these cannabis events, and we love going to see all the same people, but we also want to like grow our community. And I think that's kind of where I come in, because like you said, I wasn't even trying to mansplain you about the Web3 or NFT situation.
I don't know what it is.
But and we can talk more about that.
Yeah, sit wide. Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I just like
Take up
spread
all
them,
the-
you know?
Yes.
But I think you're seeing a lot of new faces at the PuffDAO events, and like Mary Jane said, yes, you know, we have a beautiful house in the Hollywood Hills. You know, it kind of fell into our laps, and we knew, especially since they don't know a lot about Web3, but Web3 and NFTs, a lot of people are building the community online first, and then, you know, they release their NFT, and then they start doing in real life events. And that's what NFTs are, is that, yes, you're purchasing this picture or whatever, this PFP is what they call them. But a lot of the thing is what is the utility of the NFT? What do you get besides this digital aspect? And that's why it's kind of like, you know, Bored Ape Yacht Club or whatever. It's like you're buying into like a club.
It's like access to.
Exactly. It's like American
Shit, right?
Airlines Lounge, you know, in the most interesting way. So we thought that like, yes, we can go online and we can tweet as much as we want, and we can go in our Twitter spaces, but like we want to like kind of show people like what they can get before they like kind of want to support us, you know,
Yeah.
in a sense. So we started throwing these events. We kind of did it backwards, and basically Web3 NFTs, you're going to buy a PuffDAO NFT. It's going to be called like a Puff Pass. And essentially, it's going to give you access to our events, and it's going to have access to our cannabis brand that we're building. And we're creating the first ever community built cannabis brand. And what that means is like, imagine being like a fly on the wall in the marketing room when someone's building a brand. You don't get to see how they create the name, how they create the logos, you know, how they pick the color palette, all those things that are truly the biggest things of building the brand besides the voice and besides, you know, all the other
The
things.
actual weed too.
The
right?
actual weed.
Yeah.
So for this, we're giving people the opportunity to say like, okay, cool, you're going to buy a PuffDAO NFT. You'll have access to our events. You'll have access to partner discounts. And then you have access to building this brand. So they'll connect their little Web3 wallet that shows that they have a Puff Pass to this website. And it's going to say, okay, out of these nominations, these are the 5 names that we thought were the best. Which one do you guys like the best?
Whoa.
They're going to choose. Okay, this is the logos that we had designed based off of this name. Which one do you guys are the best? Okay, so this is the logo and the name. Now these are the strains and the farms that we're talking with. Which one do you guys like the best? So they're literally building this brand. And then when the brand obviously comes to fruition and is built and we're pushing out actual flower, they're going to have like a lifetime discount. So
that's so dope.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you are giving people, especially like the cannabis community, we need some structure to make decisions.
Yeah.
Because you remember that whole, like, let's vote on the name of this boat, and they came out with like Bodie McBoaterface. Do you remember? That was like an early
I love
internet
that.
dumb thing.
Yeah. Fun.
Genius.
Yeah. But so you have a creative team that is coming up with the options that then people who have the PuffDAO pass can vote on.
Yeah, we have a design team, and like essentially like it's going to start off with nominations. You know, people will throw names. Well, we have like our own little team that's going to go through that, kind of like, you know, pick what we think the best 5 are. And then it's just going to be like kind of like a voting process from there. And
was that a soft pitch for Bodie McBoater?
McBoater.
To become one of the names
I think it was Bodie McBoaterson. Yeah. Bodie McBoaterface. Bodie McBoaterface. Yes. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
That's my pitch for a strain of weed.
I love that. And it's funny because we really like, also depends, like, you know, we're meeting anyone and everyone. We just want people who are passionate about cannabis, or love being a part of a community. And I think like community is so important. Obviously you guys know that. And also keeping like the culture in cannabis. And they can name this brand something really interesting, and it's fine because people are going to be proud and excited to be a part of it. And I don't know, if any of my friends are like, hey, you know, buy this and you can help me create a cannabis brand and come to my events, I'd be like, sure, dude. Like, I love you. Like, of course I'll do that. It just seems like a no-brainer for me because I always thought like, oh, it would be dope for me to own my own cannabis brand. But the way things are, I never thought that would be attainable or reachable. It's like millions of dollars to get a license, millions, you know, it's so much. So I think this is a very interesting way for us to build a brand in a very community crowdfunding way. So.
How are you feeling in general about the space? I hate that word, but like the community versus the industry, you know, the movement versus the profitable world. How are you feeling in general about like weed right now? Are you feeling positive, optimistic?
I mean, I'm positive. I think like when it comes to legality and it being federal, like I hope and I do know that we're going to get there. You know, I'm not as well versed in what's going on really deep in the cannabis industry right now. I know it's been really rough for a lot of brands, and I know it, you know, it involves money and, you know, all of that stuff, but I think I'm excited, and I think it's a good time for us to get into this. And yeah,
but what about like gay representation? What about the community that we're really talking about?
You want to talk about being gay?
Let's be real.
Let's talk about
like,
being
is
gay.
that being repped right now? Because you are the only person I know who's throwing events, and I know I live in a bubble called Los Angeles, and I know it is a very big blessing to be here for a lot of reasons, and I love this fucking city.
Yeah.
But what are we talking about?
You talking about, so like, you know, cannabis brands throwing gay events? As we're talking about pride events?
Let's go.
I mean, yeah, we've had a couple of guests on here talking about, you know, how pissed they get when they're like, they just throw that flag on there for the month of June. And
Absolutely.
Then the rest of the year, they're like, what the fuck are you doing for the gay
I would love
community?
to talk about that. I think, you know, for me, if anyone's going to try to support something, as long as there's some type of like genuine feeling behind it, like I'm all for it. You know, I definitely don't like brands that, like you just said, it's like the second it's July 1st, they change their, you know, rainbow profile picture back to whatever. But I think, you know, the queer brands that are in the cannabis industry, they're trying their best right now. They're definitely a lot smaller than all the bigger ones. And I do wish it does feel like a lot of brands were more interested in the, you know, Puff Pride Party immediately the second I said that we were having that. But I didn't see anyone else doing it. The Ganja Estranja party that we went to, I thought was amazing, and it was all queer owned, and then women owned brands, right?
Yep, queer, women, and POC owned brands.
But yeah, no,
Do you think celebrities should be more involved, especially queer celebrity, like the way that like I just read an article and I'm not going to name it and I'm not going to find it. You can Google that shit. But it was essentially about how like a lot of these celebrity brands are cash grabs by celebrities.
Absolutely.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, but there is something wrong with that.
Right.
I don't actually know any queer celebrities in the cannabis space except Melissa Etheridge.
Yeah, I would like to see more queer-owned brands. I'd like to see more queer celebrities. I don't know if you guys know about Shop Green Queen. They're
What's that?
the first ever like queer-owned dispensary.
Wow.
I just recently found out about that. I met one of the partners. One of the ex-partners is ex-Bedmen.
Whoa. You mean first ever just in Los Angeles? Or
Yeah,
like
downtown
under
LA,
these-
and it's like it's like all queer owned, I guess, is the essence. It's not that it's a gay dispensary, but that like they're highlighting, you know, they maybe have as many queer employees as possible, and just their vibe, like it's not an entire rainbow when you walk in, but it gives off like equality, queer, and yeah, it's like the first owned full queer cannabis
Cool.
Can I ask
dispensary.
you, I don't know how old you are. You said you're a millennial, so
I'm 27.
okay. Is part of the conversation around queer cannabis brands, does any of it trace back for you to the movement with the cannabis and the Prop 215 in the 80s being a response to the AIDS crisis? Is that a part of the conversation at all? Because we talk about it on here. And I just had a friend message me after our last ep where we mentioned it a little bit. And she was like, thank you for bringing attention to that because it's such an important part of the modern marijuana movement and American activism in cannabis. And I was like, is it not something that we're all talking about all the time?
Yeah, I have some. Well, that's the thing. I wish I was fully more educated in it, but I am educated enough to know about like Brownie Mary, who was like, you know, creating the, immediately thought of you just a little bit about that, but it was like, you know, making the brownies for like the HIV and AIDS patients. And like truly, like, if it weren't for like the LGBTQ industry and actually the LGBTQ and like pushing cannabis and like fighting back, especially trying to just help their friends.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, on the low, like I had to, maybe I shouldn't say this. I just had to convince.
Do you want to whisper it to me and I'll say it like it's my thing? And then I'll take the heat?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I had to just kind of convince a brand that I used to work for that like why we should do Pride, and that just felt so weird to me because it's like, no offense, even if you don't think you're gonna make money off of this, it's like it looks good for you at this point.
Right.
And my whole pitch was a lot of history on that and how like also too, did you guys know that like more gay people buy weed than straight people? And it's just because a lot of queer relationships, they say that we, like a lot of us don't have kids, or like that was statistics a long time ago. So we have more money, we spend less money on all these other items, which means we have more money to spend on cannabis. So it's just like straight facts that like more gay people spend more money than straight people on weed.
Yeah.
Fucking cool. I didn't know
Fun
that.
fact of the day.
Yeah, and actually fun. That is actually fun.
No, it is.
It's cool.
But yeah, that's a vibe. I'm here. I'm queer. I hope I can make a little change in the cannabis industry. And you know, PuffDAO is and it's also not going to be called PuffDAO. It's going to be called whatever the community creates it. But
right,
it's not a
DBA PuffDAO.
Yeah,
for
DBA.
the moment, right?
I still want the Bodie Mc. I feel like we should just. I'm gonna put that in there as one of the things, and maybe people.
Bodie McBoterface?
Yeah, people will love it. I think it's cool though. I love the idea of people thinking about like picking what strains that they'd want in the jar, and then them coming over to the house and doing like a strain testing.
Oh, fun. That's cool.
Yeah,
At
that's
a
the
long
vibe.
table where everyone's kicking it and finally meeting each other after being online for
yeah,
so
it's
long.
like, hey, these
Yeah.
are the 5 options that we're looking at strains. We're all gonna smoke this. You guys can write down which, you know, how you feel about it and all of that stuff. Like, it's truly gonna be like a community effort. It's gonna be cute. And yeah,
To buy the NFT, do you have to use Bitcoin? Is that how these things work? Or can I like hand you $100?
Yes, there's a point where you use cryptocurrency. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It could be Ethereum. It's probably going to be Ethereum. But Coachella did this thing where, I don't know if you like follow Coachella shit, but right before they did their first ever NFT launch, and people are like freaking out like, oh, this is great. But they understand that a lot of people who like go to Coachella, not that they don't know about NFTs, they do, but not everyone has a wallet or cryptocurrency. So they use this website where you can basically just use your credit card and it would like buy the cryptocurrency like for you quick, but it was a way for you not having to like get a MetaMask. So I want to do something where people they can't, if you have cryptocurrency, great. You can, you know, purchase the Puff Pass, but if you don't, like, you can just buy it normally. And I think a lot of this NFT stuff is about educating people in this space, you know, and it's so new.
Same with weed, like hand in hand.
Absolutely. And it starts with education. And I think the more you educate people,
I think that's sorry to interrupt.
No,
but I was
please
just going
go
to say
ahead.
this. I think that's a great point to bring up because, you know, one of the things that I've always felt weird about with the cannabis community is how exclusionary it can feel, and how cliquey it can feel, and how elitist it can feel, and how you don't feel cool enough to be a part of it if you're not like,
absolutely.
you know, when I really started writing about cannabis, I mean, I was at High Times, which was, you know, like just the populated or like the staff were, you know, the biggest people in the world as far as cannabis was concerned. And I was like, how do I even take my place in these ranks as a writer? And it was really like I had a lot of scrapping to do before I felt like I was really able to sort of like make my name. And part of that was just like they sort of define what it is, because they've always been outlaws, and you know, they've always been on the outside, so they get to sort of say what it looks like. But now that we're trying to bring more people in, and there should be more voices and, you know, ways to be involved with weed, I just feel like that, you know, needs to sort of go by the wayside. And the same thing I feel with crypto and NFTs. It feels like the events that I've been to, they feel kind of exclusive and weirdly, I feel excluded. I don't feel like I know how to.
Oh no, I want you to feel a part of it. Did you feel great at our party?
I felt great at your party because it felt like a great party.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest part.
I'm gonna have to bring you some NFT events.
Yeah, I would love that.
Web3 stuff. I think what is really great and interesting is like, just like the cannabis industry, not that it's a new industry, right? But it's just like when alcohol was like, there's prohibition and then it came back. It's like you're literally getting into something that is like brand spanking new, like industry, and like NFT, Web3, like crypto. It's like if you get in it soon, it's like you're kind of like a mini pioneer of it. So I think I like being a part of things that are new and exciting and interesting, and not just me being a millennial, but because my background is marketing and social media and all of that, it felt really easy for me to kind of just work on and learn about. And
it sounds like you're in it for the long haul too, because I do know what little I know that it is like fluctuating like crazy, highs and lows. There's some schemers out there. There's some shady shakers, but if you stick it out and you believe in it and you roll through, this is what happens with every industry as it becomes whatever it's supposed to be.
I recently got into Web3 and NFTs, and I wasn't just whatever cryptocurrency I had, like I sold. I don't even technically own cryptocurrency right now.
But you're building a thing,
which is great. I'm building something, right? Because I'm in it for the long run, and yeah, it's exciting. I believe in it. And someone asked me yesterday, like, you know, if you could picture like your dream job, or like what you would want to be doing, like what would it be? And I like sat there and I like was like, fuck, like this is it, you know, like I am doing it. Like for me, it's like, okay, I'm throwing events, which is something that I always have like kind of done, but never done fully by myself, you know? And I wanted to do something in cannabis. I wanted to do something, maybe that's, you know, technology, social media, marketing. And I always wanted to like not own like a mansion in the hills, like a TikTok house. That was never my vision. But now I'm like, oh, like I always dreamed of what it would be like to have live in LA, you know, be happy with myself, with my job, my career, and be successful in something that was cannabis and like made me feel good. And I'm literally building a community of friends that love cannabis, have the same passions and goals as I do, and I get to throw parties with them in the hills. I mean, it just feels.
You're fucking cool.
No, you're cooler than me.
That's
cool
fucking
shit.
Rad.
And
it's rad.
So
yeah. I've seen you work a room.
I do that.
Yeah, you sparkle it out, and then everyone sees the sparkle, and then they all want to touch it, and then you evaporate.
Oh,
and it's like,
I do evaporate. I go upstairs and I fall asleep during the party. No, I don't do that. I do sometimes hide away. I don't know if anyone else who's watching this, if they host parties, you guys do that too. But it definitely is like.
I'm gonna point a pinky finger to my right.
Also,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll find Mike in the kitchen chopping an onion anytime if there's an onion and a knife available.
Yeah,
he'll be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go over here and, you know, yeah,
got to dip.
Yeah,
got to refill. Such an introvert.
Wait,
got to refill.
like, are you saying that as in he's crying?
No. It's a euphemism.
I have an emergency onion in case I start bawling in the middle of a party, and I just pull it out. I'm like, oh no, this is what I was doing. Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, was that funny? That was stupid.
Yeah, that was
no,
good.
it's perfect.
Aw, are
Yeah,
you?
I get it.
So I feel like we have to have this talk. What's your astrology sign?
I'm an Aries.
Our Aries are fun. They're
Are they?
partiers.
I'm like wicked Aries. I'm double Aries. On
2 Aries? Holy fuck.
Oh,
Mark's an
there's another.
Aries?
Oh, hell yeah.
3
Three Aries.
I'm stuck in a room with 3 Aries.
Whoa,
It's great.
Look out.
I'm
What's
a
your sign?
Libra.
Oh, of course. That makes
I know.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like astrology, I don't know. I believe in the stars and the planets and the universe, and I feel like people can put words together, but I truly believe my horoscope.
You do. When has it led you in a direction that you wouldn't have otherwise gone? Like, have you read your horoscope one
My
time? and
last
been like,
relationship.
it led you away or from or towards it? Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
You were in love.
Yeah, of
Cool.
course. Yeah.
All right.
What does that
Totally.
mean? You read your horoscope and it said you will meet blank and
No,
it's going to be
kept
hot.
just saying things are going to get better, things are going to get better, and then it didn't. So I felt like that was false hope,
Yeah, I feel that. I've definitely followed.
false advertising.
Mhm.
It's like a bombshell bra. It's like
What is a bombshell bra?
like the Victoria's Secret bombshell bra. It's like literally, it's like they're like the girl, my friends in high school would wear them. They're so padded.
Oh,
And because I was already gay by that point and I like had no filter,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and I would see them naked because they're my friends, and they'd put on the bombshell bra. I'd be like, that's false advertising. That was a good time.
Yeah.
yeah.
High
Heck
school
yes.
was
It was a
fun.
good time for me too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was high school for you?
Oh, just like, when I was going through puberty and everyone else was going through puberty. Real
Yeah.
good time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. What does that mean when you said you were gay? What does that mean? Like it's everyone I know, and I don't want to say their names on here because I don't know how comfortable they feel. We can talk about it after.
Yeah.
But they all just knew from jump.
Yeah.
And then it just took them a while to come to me and let me know that was their deal.
I mean, I guess I'll simplify your question. Was there a moment that I was like, am I gay vibe?
No, I don't think that's very interesting to me if I'm going to be
Haha.
honest. I think it's
love
more
that.
of like I think it's more of like, was there someone you kissed and you were like, hell yeah, this is like a great kiss?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it solidified the deal with my first girlfriend ever, but I was like, it was more of just watching like Tila Tequila, and just like
best.
being like, holy shit, like, this is different. I love boobs, and she's kissing boys, she's kissing girls. And at that point, obviously, like when I came out, I was like, oh, I'm bisexual. I didn't know, just like whatever. But yeah, I think just kind of that's the thing. A lot of queer shows are way more like, there's way more queer shows now, but that was like one of the first, like, really, right? I mean, one of the first really bisexual crazy girls were making out shows.
Yeah, I feel like Jersey Shore helped some friends of mine be like, oh
shit.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. But yeah, no, I mean, I think maybe I was like, it was like 11 or 12, but I did see 2 girls kiss. That was like my moment that I like felt it. And when I was younger, I'm from Connecticut, like originally before Florida, and I was at a amusement park and I saw 2 women kiss on like a little trolley, and I was just young, but I remember that moment, and I like things were weird and different. So. When did you know you were gay?
My first kiss was at a bat mitzvah, and we stood in the back alley in the back of the hotel, and we held each other's waists, almost like a prom thing, and we pecked with noses facing the same way. We didn't know to turn our heads, and so we had to like touch noses, and then our lips like reached each other past our noses,
Oh
and we
my
just like
God.
smashed faces and then separated and then like walked opposite directions.
That seems really cute.
Erica Nelson.
How old were you?
Boy, what would that
Erica
when do
Nelson.
people go to bar and bat mitzvahs? It's got to be 13, 14.
right?
Yeah, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Yeah. No, I went to bat mitzvahs when I was 18 too. I was pretty cool. I hung out
Wow.
with like a lot of kids.
Mhm.
A lot of kids.
Great.
You're not Jewish, are you?
Both sides of my family.
Oh
My
God,
mom and
yay,
dad.
I'm Jewish. You're more Jewish than me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom and dad and then like, I do believe in the Holocaust, like all kinds of stuff.
Oh my god.
I mean, what the fucking?
I don't know.
Weird.
I would hope so.
That's a weird bomb to drop.
I love that. Wait, when was your first kiss, Mary Jane?
My first kiss with a boy was with Jason Geary. We were coming home from water polo practice. He was on his bike and he was riding next to me and I was walking, and then he stopped and he put his feet on either side of his bike and he leaned over the handlebars to kiss me, and he kind of like slipped on his bike and he mashed his face into me. So it was mostly teeth. I bit my tongue a little bit. And that wasn't great, but it was my first kiss with a boy. And then my first kiss with a girl
I knew this
was with
coming. Yes.
this girl, Janet, who was just like the milkiest fucking freckle-faced, blue-eyed beauty. And we had like the softest, sweetest little kiss that wasn't even sexy. It was just like super sensual, super soft. We just touched each other a little bit over our shirts, and then we went back to the party, and it was like beautiful. So I remember
the scene
each
of
kiss.
me watching you tell me about your first girl kiss. I'm just like, tell me more.
Right, like, but
I
it was
wanna
just
know
so,
more.
it was like such an amazing, weird. I mean, it's so funny to even think back on now, to be like, which one did I like more? But then I've had relationships almost exclusively with guys my whole life, but it's like that beautiful kiss. I'll never fucking forget that first kiss, and all of the other kisses ever since.
Right.
I mean, I've had other
I try to
great
describe it.
kisses.
People are like, what's different about, guys and girls kissing or girls and girls kissing? And girls always say something. Not that there's like, it's like they love it more, but there's just something different. It's like the sensual energy.
There's a recognition.
The female energy is just fucking fire. Obviously, because you love females as much as I do.
But to me, it felt like there was a recognition that I was doing something like sacred or special in a way that was like totally fucking different from touching a guy. I don't know. That's always been my feeling about like anytime I'm with a woman, I'm like, this is a different sacred special thing that is not it's just on a different level.
I love that.
That's fucking great.
Lesbians. Gay. You said you wanted to talk about it.
I mean, I'm like currently fucking modeling myself after like powerful lesbians in their 40s, because I've like all my life I've looked at like, like the women leaders that I really admire, and like of course so many men as well. Yeah. But like the ones who are like doing it right in my scope that I'm looking at right now, I feel like all of them
They're
are like
always gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're powerful
gay women.
Let's go. Wait, so I feel like there's something we missed talking about. I want to talk about food.
Yeah.
Because I love food. You guys love food. And like,
oh, we didn't miss it.
No, well, let's. She's like, let's. So I've always been a foodie, but you guys like, chefs, like, Nancy Silverton, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'll be honest, yes, discovered her through Chef's Table, as I'm sure like a lot of people have, and like completely obsessed with that show. If you guys haven't watched it, obviously please do. But I kind of just like fell in love with her and her work ethic, and how she literally would like work hours and do the dough over and over again for the bread and all that stuff. But I kind of want to know what your guys' favorite restaurants out here. I'll definitely say Osteria Moza is like definitely up there for me.
100%. That whole strip, that 3P, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's
Pizzeria
the 3P?
Moza.
It's Moza.
Is it
Osteria
Scopa?
Moza.
And Chispaka.
Oh,
Chispaka.
Yeah, okay. Shout out to our friend Greer, who is running the show.
She's running she.
Oh my god, hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll bring her to a party. One of your puff parties.
I would love that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Next time you invite me. Because you didn't invite me to the woman's one.
No, we gotta go to Puff Puff Pride.
You're coming to Puff Puff Pride
Saturday.
I'm dropping the link today. I had to come to the show first.
Oh, word. Check our show description for that link.
For Puff Puff Pride this Saturday, Pride. June 18th.
Yep, 1 to 6.
Yep.
Puff Puff Pride. It's at the PuffDAO House in the Hollywood Hills. It's June 18th from 1 to 6 p.m. Some of my favorite brands are gonna be there. We got some drag queens passing out joints. We got the pool, we got tattoo artists, we got tooth gems. It's going to be great.
And it's invite only, right?
It is invite only, but if you see this episode and you guys want to come, maybe shoot PuffDAO a DM and we can get you an invite.
Mm-hmm. And
nice.
is all of the community branding dropping? Has it already dropped? Is that coming soon?
No, coming soon. So we'll be launching our NFT probably end of July, early August. We've been throwing events since March. This is, I think, our 5th or 6th. We're going to do some more educational events like we talked about. Education is everything. So we're going to, mesh maybe some cannabis education and with some Web3 education and then drop it. So the brand is, I would say, coming soon 2023.
And everyone can follow you at PuffDAO.
At PuffDAO. And you can follow me if you want, Ashlee Belzo. Yeah.
2 E's.
2 E's. 2 E's, not EY. Like Ashlee Simpson.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Best SNL musical act ever.
Is that sarcasm?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, so I'm going to have to YouTube that.
Oh my God, that's so wild. That's before your time.
Yeah, because like I was singing her when I was like a fucking baby.
Yeah. All right.
Oh God, I'm a child.
2004? Yeah, maybe 2004. Yeah, that's a long ass time ago.
I was 9.
Wow.
I was 10. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably didn't watch SNL till at least 11, 12.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I was still watching fucking SpongeBob.
Yo, the best.
Well,
even today.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging with us today. Everybody check us out on Instagram at weedandgrub.com. Please email us, wg@weedandgrub.com. Wait, did I just say all that wrong?
Yeah, but keep going.
No, you gotta correct me. Damn it. You got it wrong and I fucking hopped
I
all
fucked
over
it
you.
up last time bad.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, take it away.
Okay. Follow us at Weed and Grub on IG. wg@weedandgrub.com is our email. And kiss somebody and get a slice of pizza.
That's right.
I'm gonna do that. Let's go, Mary Jane.
Nice. Let's go.
Bye,
Bye
everyone.
everyone.